Oh, I forgot something. All right, what's up, guys? This is Dr. Alchemist M.F.A. with another One Piece chapter reviews. We are at the Baratie, and man, if you know about what's going on, or you know about me and my journey with One Piece, I started with the anime first, and then when we got to Kaido's place, Wano, that's when I switched over to the anime, to the manga. So rereading this, you know, there was a lot of filler, but One Piece has great filler for me. I loved being in places a lot longer. We are moving fast. Don Krieg has came, saw, conquered, and we're about to start, we have to fight. So the big player in this one is Don Krieg, and we actually find out someone who Zoro is kind of scared of. But this person has been mentioned, some type of Hawkeye guy. So we're going to find that out. So let's just get into the chapter. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I will be doing every single One Piece chapter. I started from chapter 1. We are now at chapter 48. So make sure you grab your Tankobon. We are on Omnibus 2. We are running through this. So this week, since I start back school, you will see more One Piece chapters because that is the most doable thing, and live streams I can do during this week to stay consistent. And then once I get kind of calibrated with school, I'll implement some other things. But I really, really want to get to chapter 95, because that's the end of season 1 for the One Piece live action, and then chapter 155. So hopefully my birthday is October 1st. We can get to that chapter 90 by October 1st. Which is crazy, right? That's like 2-3 chapters I gotta do a day. I'll figure it out. But also, I want to get, by the end of the semester, which is December, be done with chapter 155 or 154. So hopefully that people that are following along with the manga with me, but also we can all be together with the One Piece live action, and so we can read ahead as season 3 is going, because I'm sure season 3 is probably going to drop during the spring. Okay, ready? Go. This is, shout out to Dr. Dictionary. How do you like the new set? It's hodgepodge together. We already know why I'm doing this, but I kind of like it. But the only thing I don't like is I can't hoot and holler and run. Anyway, but once we start, upgrading this set into my own apartment, and then we can have everything higher, maybe I can have my own wall where that's my dream, to have my own, One Piece studio or my own content creation studio where I can hoot and holler. That actually would be kind of dope. Let's go. This is chapter 48. Steer clear. Steer clear. So, hold on. Let me make sure I'm good. Okay, so Oda. I love Oda, right? The top 5 anime, which I feel like is the foundation of the anime. We got grandmother, grandfather. Dragon Ball Z, of course, Dragon Ball, and Sailor Moon. Then they got the big 3. And I'll say in the order what I would introduce: Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece. Okay? I love all 3 for different reasons. I love all 5 for different reasons. But damn, our storytelling and being detailed, Oda is the best. Okay? Naruto, I can say I love it for the fighting, and just like the world building. One Piece wins. I love the fighting and the strategy, especially it got kind of lost a little bit when Kaguya came at the very end. But the fighting and that type of pull a kunai out, or Shikamaru trying to figure it out, that was peak for me, especially tuning exams or when Sakura fought Chio. And then Bleach, I just feel like it was solid. I love the lore, and it feels like I'm reading a history book when Bleach is, right? I really enjoyed it. It's different, but I love all of them. So I appreciate how Oda, we're on part 10 of Buggy's crew after the battle, part 10, Farewell to Friends. And these little cover stories, I want to talk about just as a designer, as an artist. He's doing weekly chapters, y'all, but also he has these cover stories where it's the title right here, and then a cover, right? It can be a cover like this, but no, he tells a story in one panel. And so someone I've already wrote my manga, and my goal is to release my manga by the end of next year, in 2027. I'm realizing now you can tell a panel means so much. So I guess once I feel comfortable with my art skills, I already have M.F.A, if you know, in fashion design. But I'm going back for, other disciplines of design because I want to get better at sketching as far as the human body and like that style, right? And also animating it. But you should be able to execute your vision in one scene, one panel. And he does it so perfect. So Chibi Buggy is crying as he's rafting away from the island of exotic animals. And you see Gaimon and his other exotic animals waving, and everyone's crying, and Buggy had a really good time. I like Buggy. He's cool. Not my top 10 characters, but I enjoy Chibi Buggy. So, yeah, it's a simple panel, but you have Gaimon and the exotic animals on the pier, the forest behind them, and Buggy's far out in the water, the perspective. So they're really, like, Gaimon's back here, perspective, Buggy's up there. And he's in like a little sailboat, like a raft that he put together. So he chopped some trees, probably tied it up with some rope, and made a little sailboat out of some cloth. And he's rowing away with a makeshift paddle. And he had a great time. I like that. Let's move on. All right, so we are opening the chapter when we just found out Zeff used to be this huge pirate named Red Shoe Zeff. So, you're alive, Don Krieg says. A unique pirate, the Captain Cook. So, usually on a pirate ship, everyone usually has, not everyone, no, I will. On every pirate ship, everyone has a role to play. Doctor, cook, shipwreck, so on and so forth. When we start meeting other crews, we start meeting captains that are just not battle combatants or battle driven the whole entire time. Luffy, Buggy, they're more, well, I would say Buggy more is morale. His best power is morale and gaining forces and infiltrating and doing things like that. But not infiltrating, but like getting an army. So I'll say his is morale. But Luffy is a battle captain, right? So you still can be a captain. We're just finding out in lore, which I've realized it, but putting two together about Zeff. Zeff is the captain of a pirate crew, or was, but his main skill was the cook. So maybe he also was the head chef, right? So that opens the opportunity of different things. Maybe you have someone that is a doctor. And then everybody's like kind of medical professionals. Maybe someone is a blacksmith and everybody makes arms. Of course, you have the other categories, like you need a navigator, you need a doctor. But the main theme of your crew. The Straw Hat Pirates is kind of like the decathlete of One Piece, right? Filling all those roles, which I prefer. I'll probably I better fit on the Straw Hat Pirates because everybody's not doing your role. You got your own specialty. So, if I'm there as the strategist, because I love Zhang Ling from from Dynasty Warriors, Samurai Warriors, famous strategist. So I would be the designer, the strategist. So there you go. So what if I'm alive? Zeff says. What's it to you? Now I'm a chef exclusively. Oh yeah, say it like it was a choice. But did you choose to be a cook, Zeff, or was being a pirate too much for you? Looks like your Red Shoes days are behind you. So, Don Krieg, who just came from the Grand Line, and we're about to get more information about that, but your ass came back. Zeff, we find out that in this chapter that he spent a year. So who are you? Just because you had this armada of 50 ships and 5,000 pirates, 100 pirates on each ship, you got everybody killed because you only have 100 people out there. So don't you know somebody like in real life that they ain't what they saying, but they always talking shit? Shut the hell up. And so now we get some information about Zeff. Red Shoe Zeff, master of the deadly kick, who never used his hands in battle. That awesome leg strength could smash bedrock and even leave footprints and steal. So we now get some backstory on Zeff, but we also understand Sanji's fighting style because Zeff did train Sanji. So it makes sense. Now we got to figure out why you're not going to use your hands, but I'm sure it's because they're cooks. So their hands are meant for cooking, not for fighting. So that's why they only use their feet. The blood of your enemies dyed your shoes, hence your unusual nickname. They say you died at sea. I see you didn't lose your life, but you did lose one of your precious legs. Did he lose it on the Grand Line, or did he lose it somewhere else? Because I see Sanji panting now. So Sanji knows how Zeff lost his foot or his leg, which is kind of a dig. Like, your ass just left and killed 4,900 people died on your voyage. I just lost a leg, regardless if it's the Grand Line or not. I can't fight anymore, but I can cook as long as I have these two hands. What are you getting at? Spit it out, Zeff says. So that's very interesting. He talks about his hands. And so, yes, his hands are very important. So, of course, he's not going to fight and get him bruised. Red Shoe Zeff. You once sailed that devil's nest, the Grand Line, but you returned unscathed. There you go. You kept a record. Sounding out I'm going to leave that in. Am I the only one noticing a lot of people don't know how to use like phonics or sound out things? Because unscathed, right? Unscathed. Are they not teaching that in school? Like, I'm 30, millennial. But I'm seeing like, the cue card thing on Instagram. Like, just, it's okay to sound it out. Okay? I have a master's degree on how to sound out things, certain words. But anyway. But you returned unscathed. You kept a record of the voyage, a whole year's log. Give me your logbook. Why does Don Krieg need the logbook? Let's continue. You've been to the Grand Line too, old man? Luffy says. Aye. My logbook, eh? Yes, I still have it, but I won't give it to you. For me and the men who sailed with me, that logbook is a testament. I won't give it to the likes of you. I might need to do a video on the importance of a logbook in pirates history. So I'm going to do that. And I'm sure whatever we look up, the real reason why pirates or sailors keep logbooks, I'm sure it'll apply. So I'm very curious to figure out what's so important about this logbook. But as common sense, or what we think it is, or what I think it is, the logbook just talks about their voyage day to day. Because you don't have cell phones, you don't have the internet, and you don't have communication. So I guess it's like kind of like a diary, right? So I guess the ship's logbook would talk about what's the dailies. So would you have your personal logbook and also the ship's logbook, like the cruise? I think they would have two of them. I would kind of journal every day, right? Wouldn't you? Just in case after a year or two, or you have somebody, you get off the voyage and you have somebody that you want to pass that information down. It can be decades after. I think it'll be very important, especially going to uncharted seas and you don't have MapQuest. Don Krieg says, then I'll take it from you. It's true that I didn't succeed on the Grand Line, Zeff says. But that is not Zeff saying that. Then I'll take it from you, Don Krieg says. It's true that I didn't succeed on the Grand Line, but I am Don Krieg, the mightiest of all. Weaklings do well to shun that dark route, but I have plenty of strength, ships, and men, and ambition. But you still, everyone that got everybody killed. Don Krieg, like, you need to get your ass whooped. Like, what is not clicking for you, bro? I can't stand this type of person. Like, you ever beat somebody in a race? Or, like, I played sports. I ran track. I'm Division I track and field athlete, so I did hurdles, right? You beat them in the, let's say you, not even people I compete against. Let's say you're at the club outside. I'm from Louisiana. So we're outside and someone tried to race you, or somebody that's Jim Pop just trying to race you because you ran track and then you burn their ass, or you play basketball and you beat them and they're still talking shit. I just beat you. No, I'm not going to race you again. Like, what are you doing? Fuck out here. The only thing I lacked was knowledge. That's what suited me. And that's why we have Nami in our crew. That's why. I just didn't know enough. I'll have that log in this ship too. Yeah, Captain, if you had you had 5,000 men, but You didn't have the top doctor, navigator, engineer, um, inventor, helmsman, archaeologist, musician. If you had the best of the best, sniper, swordsman, if you had the best of the best, you wouldn't have a problem because you wouldn't be able to get around. Why didn't your navigator know what happened? Let's continue because this is pissing me off. I'll have that log and this ship too. I just didn't know enough. You can't have it. This ship's all we've got in the world. Yeah, we've been cast out from everywhere else. Chef Zeff is our savior. He took us in when no one else would. We won't let you take our ship. So Patty and the gang are upset. So we have Patty, Black Glasses, and the other chefs saying like, hey, hold on. Don't talk about Zeff. Don't come for Zeff. This is our home. We can't go nowhere else. And as they're talking, Don Krieg does another barrage of bullets to them. And now they're getting injured even more. Wow. Puny fools. No one can defy me. You've seen that I'm the strongest of all. I'll take Zeff's log, assemble another armada, capture the One Piece, and lord it over this great age of pirates. And, oh, baby, you said you want to get the One Piece? You said you want to lord over the pirates? Luffy clenches his fist because now it's personal. Hey, hold it. I'm going to be king of the pirates, Luffy says. Of course he is. Chore boy. So now the cooks are like, wait, what? Chore boy. Zeff is like, Sanji's like, huh. And Patty's like, stay out of this kid. He'll murder you. I really like this about Patty. Like, Patty is like a big softie. Like, if he fucks with you, he's a big softie. He got your back. So they're worried about him. They don't know Luffy got squabbles. Stride pirates are strong. I can't. Not out of this, Luffy says. Did you say something, boy? Oh, I would have fired on his ass right then. Gun pistol right in the face. Don't call me no boy. Don't you want to take that back? Luffy's like, nope. I was only stating the fact. No printer. Period. Okay? This isn't a game, Don Krieg says. Obviously. Ooh! Weren't you listening? The Grand Line was too much even for Krieg. Can't we just call it off? Okay, good. So while all this is happening, we kind of are hearing Zoro and Usopp talking. So this is Usopp, coward. But we love him. Brave coward. I can call him a coward, but you can't. Weren't you listening? The Grand Line was too much even for Krieg. Can't we just call it off? Going there is suicide. Quiet. Stay out of this, Zoro says. Okay? And then after they talk amongst themselves and somebody Zoro's like, quiet. Luffy looks at them. They look at Luffy. And Usopp's like, time to fight, Luffy, and got locked in. Zoro's like, I'll lend a hand. Luffy says, hey, Zoro, Usopp, you guys still here? Nah, I can handle this. And everybody's laughing. Well, Don Krieg is the only one laughing. And it says, that's your crew? Well, yeah, he has the one of the best swordsmen in the world and one of the best sharpshooters in the world. He's good and one of the best navigators and about to get the best cook. Pretty thin, ain't it? Wrong. There are two more, Luffy says. Don't count me in, Sanji says. Don't be so cocksure, kid. I had a fleet and 5,000 men. In 7 days, we were smashed to bits in that demon sea. So that's what happened. You didn't have a strong enough navigator because the sea took out all of y'all. So we think. 7 days. Krieg's armada was destroyed so quickly? What could have done it? Did you hear that? 50 ships in 1 week? Usopp is crying. Sounds interesting, Zoro says. Reckless impudence. But you're not funny. Watch your mouth, or I'll kill you right now, Don Krieg says. Now listen carefully. I'll give you a chance as he grabs the food. I'm taking this food to the men on my ship, and then I'm coming back. Anyone who doesn't want to die had better be gone when I return. All I want is the captain's log and the ship, because since something happened in the Grand Line, so I'm thinking it's weather, he needs that logbook so he can avoid certain things and know how to maneuver. But if you're eager to die, wait for me. I'll bury you at sea. It's your choice, Don Krieg says. Sanji, forgive me. I didn't think, Jin says. He would do this. It's not your fault at all, Swabby. Chef, the cooks helped to bring this on us as well. So Jin is crying, to Sanji and Zeff, and Zeff was like, man, it's all right. It's all right. The cooks also helped. So all that food we prepared, there's probably some cooks also in the kitchen that helped Zeff, that kind of has that philosophy. More Patty's cooks are up there with him complaining about, not feeding them. So I liked how we have a lot of different takes. We have some people that kind of believe with Zeff and Sanji, some people that's kind of on Patty's side. And you need that. You need that diversity in the group so you can stay afloat, right? Chef, are you siding with Sanji? You crazy, Patty says. He's the guy who started all this trouble. Sanji wants to destroy your precious restaurant. Don't you, Sanji? You do anything be head chef. Either that or you're insane. Which is it? Zeff says, shut up, you eggplants. Has anyone of you ever been hungry before, Zeff talks about? Have you gone for days without food and water on the high seas? Do you have any idea what agony that is? I think we're going to learn about Sanji's backstory that actually happened, because you see the darkness over Sanji's eyes. So Zeff knows something, and Sanji knows something. Someone has starved before for a long time, and it's one of the two. So what Chef Patty says, if you're going to keep moaning, then just head out the back door. Patty looks at the cooks. Cooks look at Patty. They say, I'll just stay and fight. I can't stand to let Krieg have his way. Me neither. This restaurant is my home. Yeah, I got nowhere else to go. Jin's like, what are you fools? You saw what Krieg can do. You better run. Jin? Look, brother, Sanji says, listen to me. As a cook, I consider it my duty to feed the hungry. But soon, I'll be facing plunderers with full stomachs. So if I have to beat your mates to death, don't complain. If they try to take over this ship, I'll slaughter them without mercy. And that goes for you, too. Jin's like, oh my God. Sanji's locked in. Got that. He lit that cigarette. They're ready to go down with their ship. They ain't got nowhere else to go. Right? The Chef Zeff's pirate crew, or the Baratie cooks, are ex-pirates. Probably refugee pirates. Chef gave him a home and a job. Yeah, he's rough. Get food, water, get shelter. Why wouldn't you fight to the death? Where else you gonna go? First you save him, then you kill him. Good idea, Sanji. That's Patty antagonizing him. Be quiet, crab cooker. I love their dynamic. So Luffy's like looking at everything. See? He's tough, huh? Luffy says, who cares? We gotta get out of here. Usopp says, relax. They're wounded and starving, Zoro says. Yeah, besides, I've gotta fight Krieg. He's a powerful rival. I'll have to take him down sometime. By the way, Jin, you said you didn't know anything about the Grand Line, but you've been there. Now, Jin starts having a nervous breakdown, and we get some good information. Let's do it. I know nothing. It's all a crazy fog. Something happened on our 7th day out. But was it a dream or reality? It's all mixed up in my head. He appeared so suddenly. So it's not a weather anomaly. It's a person. And we get a side panel of all the ships and wreckage, and this man with his 3 musketeers hat and the cape, and everything is destroyed. Just one man. How could one man scupper 50 ships? So one man destroyed 50 ships. Zoro, Usopp, Sanji, Patty, Cooks, Barney, Nikki, Wayne, Drake. Everybody's like, what? Impossible. Krieg's armada was destroyed by one man. Before we knew it, our ships were sinking one after the other. If that storm hadn't come up, he'd have sent the flagship to the bottom too. So the storm actually saved them. So whoever, the pirate that was destroying everything, this Can I just get 1 hour of quiet in my damn house? 1 hour of quiet! So we find out Krieg's armada was destroyed by one man. One man, right? He continues to talk about it. Before we knew it, our ships were sinking one after the other. If that storm hadn't come up, he'd have sent the flagship to the bottom. So why do you need the battle log? Why do you need the logbook? If that's what happened to your armada. I don't know. Don Krieg's not the smartest one in the boat. It was because y'all was too weak. I'm not sure how many ships survived. It was terrible. I can't believe it was real. I don't want to remember that man, Jin says. And then last panel of the chapter. That man with the piercing hawk eyes that could kill with a glance. And Zoro looks and says, what? End of chapter. So this is a really good chapter. We're about to get into a big fight. After they're done eating, they're going to come raid and fight. But I'm happy Jin is still there to kind of, world build and let us know what's going on. Zoro spooked about something, so I wonder what that is. So yeah, comment down below any of the things we talked about and what you think is going to happen for the next week and next chapter, and let me know. Thank you so much for being here at another One Piece chapter reviews, and this is Dr. Alchemist M.F.A. and Dr. Dictionary. We will see you at another time.
Yeah, alchemy. Welcome to the new syllabus, a scholar with the illest fit. Dr. Alchemist M.F.A, that's the knowledge I exhibit. Creatures in this world, I call them my whole curriculum. Some for the battle, some for the bond, my analysis meticulous. I study them for profession, yeah, I gotta test and check them all. Yeah, I gotta check them all.